Find books your kids will want to read with engaging stories for kids, youth, and young adults, and nonfiction books to encourage and guide them on a purpose-driven life. The Wednesday Bookmark on CHRI.
Jill Roman-Lord is a speaker and award-winning author of over 20 books for kids. Her latest is out this Friday about a little bamboo seed who loves his new life of floating through the sky until he finds himself buried in the dirt and alone and has to learn to trust that the master has bigger plans for him than he could ever imagine. With us to discuss You're More Than a Sprout. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So, Jill, let's start. What scripture verse would you say inspired this story?
Well, the one I included is to wait for the Lord, to be strong and wait for the Lord. And waiting is hard. And that's exactly what bamboo has to do and what we have to do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and that's true, too, when it comes to trusting God with our hopes and dreams. And you actually released another kids' book just before this one, encouraging kids to pursue their dreams. Why is that message of dreaming big such a big one for you as an author and as a mom?
I think as a mom, we want our kids to pursue their dreams, and we try to help them find their talents and their gifts and their abilities. And I think God places those in our hearts at an early age. Some are naturally better at some things than others, and I think there's a reason for that. It's all to contribute to His kingdom, and our dreams aren't necessarily about us. We never know who our dreams will help when we pursue them. If you have a dream to become a doctor, all the lives that will be touched because you've pursued that dream, or a missionary, or teacher, or construction worker, any of those. It's not just about achieving your dream and saying, look at me, I achieved my dream. But it's putting yourself out there so that others can be served by you and your gifts and talents. And I think it's great for kids to know that at an early age, that they are used and can be used in God's kingdom.
Don't we tend to lose that dream, that sense of pursuing dreams as we get older? Like, why is that? And how can we keep that alive the way kids are taught to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if, once you get into a career or whatever, you think you're done and that dreams are just for others and for young kids. I think, once we achieve a dream, God places more within our hearts. As long as we're alive and breathing, we have purpose on this earth. I don't know if we realize as adults the obstacles that could be in the way and, the mountains that we would have to climb, whereas maybe kids are just wide open and believe they can do anything. But I think it's important for people of all ages to know that, I think the good Lord just wants us to keep on dreaming and keep on pursuing and trusting in Him.
Yeah, and it's His timing. And we talked about waiting on the Lord and trusting His timing. And a bamboo sprout is kind of a unique choice for a character in a kid's book, but it's actually very fitting. Can you tell us some things about bamboo and how it grows as it relates to the story?
Yes. I am not a bamboo expert, but I had read about bamboo and was thinking, wow, there's a story here, and there's like 1,500 different kinds of bamboo, and they all don't follow this pattern, but a lot of them do. And they flower like once every 30 to 150 or 160 years. And then they all flower all over the world at the same time. And then, the seeds are released, and some will be eaten, but some will sprout and take root and grow. Once it does start to grow, once the seed, lays dormant there in the ground for, 10 years or 7 years, however long it lays dormant, then it grows. It's the fastest, if not the fastest, one of the fastest growing plants. Like oak trees grow like an inch a year or something very small, but these grow like a foot a day. Some of these you can see grow before your very eyes. They're that fast. Once they've reached their height, they're there.
Yeah, to stand tall. I love that. It's so fascinating. What can we learn then from this dormant period and then fast growth?
That's where patience comes in. You've got this dream and you just want it to happen now. But just like the seed is laying dormant in the ground, it's not really dormant. The Lord is working in it and and making it strong, and so that it can produce the roots that it needs for a firm foundation. And just great things take time. Once that bamboo grows and it's, how the master created it, then it is used for so many great purposes. And I just think, our dreams, they take time to cultivate and to get the firm foundation that we need, and then we can just take off in the Lord's timing.
The moon character in the book is really the one that kind of speaks over this bamboo sprout and just tries to help him understand that the master has a plan. And you just talked about, patience and waiting for his timing. But there's another important message in the story. What does the little sprout then, now that it's a 100-foot tall bamboo plant, learn now about its further purpose?
That one of its purposes is to share, to give of itself. Sometimes that's hard, even if it's, part of your dream, that you can't just keep it all to yourself. But that's part of the master's plan, is that this bamboo would be used for many purposes. And the bamboo had to be okay with sharing himself. And in this bamboo's sharing, it blessed so many people and creatures. And so I think, our gifts and talents are to share with others and bless others too,
So just as we wrap up, Jill, what do you hope kids will just take away? I mean, not just kids, I think adults too. The message is so clear in this book, but what's the main takeaway, would you say, as it relates to really our significance?
That God has a plan. Sometimes you just feel like you're stuck in a rut and going nowhere, and you see all this beautiful stuff around you and beautiful people and people doing stuff, and you feel like you're going nowhere. God's got a plan for you, for each of us, and it might just be a time of growth where we feel we're not doing anything. We might be, learning patience, learning time management, learning how to work well with others, or, whatever the, lessons are that we need to learn. But God's got a plan for each of us, and it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful plan for us all to reach our dreams and work together and bless each other in the process.
I love that. And you just see the joy in the sprout at the end of the story, too, when he just discovers that. It's really beautifully written. It's got this Dr. Seuss kind of rhyme to it, lessons of patience and purpose and significance. Jill, you did great with this one. Thank you so much. It's so cute, too. The illustrations are awesome.
Oh, she nailed it. I love the illustrations. Sarah did a fabulous job. I have nothing to do with the illustrations, but she nailed it.
She did.
Yes, thank you.
It's called You're More Than a Sprout. Again, Jill Roman Lord. Jill, thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a joy talking with you.
To hear this interview again, or to discover more great books your kids will want to read, visit bookmark.chri.ca. The Wednesday Bookmark